There's only been one high relief coin put into circulation for the average American, silver coin, in its history. Do you remember which one it was? Well, it was also our last large silver dollar. Does it make it a little bit better? We're talking about the first year of issue, peace dollar, high relief, 1921, and here it is. Gorgeous coin. The story is a phenomenal story, and I'll get into that in a second. Why they call it high relief is that it was meant as a piece of art put on the coin. It was the last coin of the American coin renaissance. Remember in silver coins, 1916, where we introduced the Mercury dime, Standing Liberty quarter, and Walking Liberty half dollar, all part of the big plan by President Theodore Roosevelt? Well, this is the last silver coin redesign. And they did it after World War I. And the American public wanted a coin to celebrate the end of the war of all wars at that time in history. So peace as a concept needed to be conveyed. And they came up, and I'll go over the story with this idea, right? So the unique thing is they made it as a high relief. That was the artistic interpretation, so the mint followed it. It was not practical in circulation. So after only 3 days of production, it was stopped. And then from 1922 till the end of the peace dollar in 1935, the regular peace dollar, or the lower relief, was the coin in circulation. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, the U.S. Mint has made other high relief coins in the last 50 years, but not one of them was ever intended to circulate. They were always being made for collectors. The techniques of making coins today makes high relief more functional. But this coin was a circulating coin, not a collector coin. And that was part of the legislation push, so it had to be fixed. So here it is, the first peace dollar. My competition for a really ugly coin, we're looking at $3.99 to $4.99. For great eye appeal, like the one you're seeing on your screen right now, and again, these are the original 1921s, the 100-year-old plus coins, we're looking at $400 plus. Easy. We're at $299.95 tonight. What a price. Now let's spend a few minutes just talking about the coin, if we shall. Remember, this coin was put through without congressional approval. It was put through by the Mint Director under the provisions of the Pittman Act, which is 1918. And in that act, it talked about how we're melting silver for the World War I effort to help finance the war for us and our allies. And when the war was over, the silver needed to be recoined, right? So they put the Morgan out there in 1921 while this was being designed. They also had to take into consideration the provisions of the 1890 Coin Act, which meant the coin design had to be out for 25 years before it could be replaced in circulation, right? Well, the Morgan dollar, right, ended in 1904. It was in circulation for a period of time, so then it didn't matter. They didn't have to go back to the Morgan, but they could while they were designing another coin. The designs on this coin were entered on November 23rd, 1921. A month later, they came to one provision that they had to change. Right there you see it on the bottom. The talons. He's holding an olive branch. He originally was holding a broken sword. And everybody thought that was a little bit too aggressive. Let's make it be olive branch. It's peace. The symbol is peace. The world is at peace. So let's make it be an olive branch. And they made that change at the very, very end. And then on the 29th of December, 1921, this coin went into production. And in 3 days, they made, give or take, 1 million coins. And that was it. End of the story. 1922, on January 10th, they looked at the design, found out it was not functional in circulation. High relief means the coin is higher than the edges, which means, guess what? It doesn't circulate well. So they flattened it out, and then later in 1922, full production, Denver, San Francisco joined. We have a regular peace dollar. So in history, we have one coin that has the uniqueness of being the only of its type, and this is it. When you look at the coin, you can see it. Look at the eagle. He's coming off the coin. You also notice in the front, the Statue of Liberty look, right? It's a image of liberty, but not a portrait of a person like you saw with the Morgan dollar or other renditions of liberty. A very modern-esque look, which is where we wanted our coins to go. So it's a phenomenal story. But as referenced, the peace dollar was the last silver dollar put into circulation. The Eisenhower in the 1970s, many of you might remember, which can you believe was 50 years ago? They're copper clad. They made silver issues only for collectors, but the coins in circulation were copper clad. So they pulled gold in 1934. Most of us remember that. But few people remember they pulled silver dollars in 1935. The end of an era. So the peace dollar as a design ended. It was the last of the big silver dollars. But this is the very first one, only made for 3 days. Only 1 million plus were made in high relief, making it one of the rarer coins in the entire series. But the other part of this is how few of them are known to exist today. Again, what's in with the new, out with the old, right? So when the peace dollar design came out, we were jumping all over it and getting it out there in circulation. People wanted to have it. They wanted to carry it, right? Collecting was a different world back then than it is today. And then here is the other side of the coin. Ooh, good pun, huh? Remember the 100th anniversary of the very first peace dollar in 2021? They made 5 Morgan dollars and a peace dollar. May 24th, August 3rd, and then the peace dollar in 2021 was released on August 10th. They made 200,000 coins. And it sold out instantly, 7 minutes, right? Earlier this year, of 2023, 275,000 coins. And then the San Francisco proof, right? 400,000 coins. Now let's go back to that 2021. Today, that 2021, from only a couple of years ago, you can't buy it for $2.99 in the marketplace. And there's 200,000 of them recently that are known to exist, where this coin, 100 plus years ago, yeah, that's the story. Guys, we got to put a 30-second clock up, down to only a handful left. Love the coin, love the story, just don't get to talk about it often enough. And that's because we can't find them. But again, the provisions of the Pittman Act enabled the U.S. Mint to make this without congressional approval, only coin in U.S. history. The late approval process, because we couldn't get out of our own way, put us into November. We changed one design in December, and boom, we struck it for only 3 days. So that is absolutely correct. 3 days of production. Competition. Again, $400 plus for a coin even close to being this nice. We are significantly less. The 2021s cost more than this. So you can now buy the only high relief put into circulation. It's the 21, the original 1921. And tonight we're at just $299.95 while they last.